Hi folks, Brian Pate from Keller Williams Preferred and the Pate Realty Group here in downtown Wake Forest, coming to you this week with our pigskin preview picks for Friday night. That's hard to say, pigskin preview pick. Anyway, last week I finally took one on the chin. I missed my first game as the East Wake Warriors were beaten by the Rolesville Rams. I had picked East Wake to win that game. Roseville ended up winning that one 13-8, so we'll talk about that one in more detail here in a few minutes. So let's get straight to the picks. Let's start with the number one team in the state since they're right in our backyard. This is going to be a fun one, folks. This has been a great game for years. Wake Forest visits Leesville Road. Now, the Pride always has a decent football team. They've got an old coach that's now new again. My good buddy online, Team Muggs, will probably be there giving us updates on the game. So last week, Wake Forest pounded Middle Creek, just like we said, and Leesville Road dropped one from Green Hope, 28-21. That was a little bit of a surprise to me. I really expected Leesville to come out on top in that game, but my understanding is they're fairly young. They've got some work to do in the trenches there, so I'm picking Wake Forest in this one, and I think it's going to be big. I'm sorry to say from my Leesville friends. I'm picking Wake Forest to win this one by at least 3 touchdowns over at the west side of Raleigh. So check it out Friday night, 7 p.m. Wake Forest at Leesville. Expect Wake Forest to win this one going away. Our next game Friday night at 7 p.m. is Fuquay Varina at Wakefield. Now the Bengals come into this one at 1-1. They're coming off of a week off, so they had a bye week last week, so they didn't have to worry about all the weather. Wakefield, on the other hand, had to deal with some weather and had to deal with a whooping that Lee County put on them. The Wolverines took it on the chin last weekend, 39-0. Wakefield's in a rebuilding year, folks. As good as they are, and as good of friends as I got over there, they got a lot of work to do. I'm picking the Bengals in this one. Picking them by a couple of touchdowns. I think Wakefield will hang in the game this time, but I'm thinking something like 28-14 will probably be your final score. So expect Fuquay Varina to take one from Wakefield and for the Wolverines to drop another one at home this week. Next game up this week is Orange visiting the Rolesville Rams. Orange comes in with a history of being a pretty good football team over the years. They've had a great program there for a long time. This year's a little bit different. They're kind of one-dimensional with their UNC recruit, Peyton Wilson. Now, this kid at some point is probably going to play every position on the field. He's kind of like a Swiss Army knife of athletes, and that's why UNC and Larry Fedora like him. However, if the Rams can stop him, they can take control of this game. At least need to see a little bit of offense. It's going to be very important that the offensive line makes some holes for the Rolesville running back and give the quarterback time to pass. So we're going to see if that happens. This one's a tough one for me, but I'm going to take Orange in this one. I just think there's going to be too much of Peyton Wilson in the game. I'm picking Orange to win. I think it's probably going to be, let's call it 23-10 in this one. So we're picking Orange to beat Rolesville in this game. Last game of the week features the Heritage Huskies traveling on the road to face the Sanderson Spartans. This is one everybody in town is talking about, folks. It's going to be a big one. Sanderson's on the rebound. Big running back named Trent Penix, NC State recruit. He's one bad dude. As a matter of fact, we got a battle of NC State recruits this week because on the other side of the ball, Heritage has Ricky Person. Ricky Person is the #1 rusher in 4AA in yards, total yards, rushing touchdowns, and overall scoring. Dude hung 5 touchdowns last week on what was expected to be a very good Millbrook defense. The question marks for Heritage were the offensive line this year. The offensive line looks great. Defensive line is solid with Joe Kane on one end and Joseph Boladipelli on the other side. Drake Thomas is in the middle. Folks, Heritage is the whole package. And I think the big difference in this game this week is going to be the passing game of the Heritage Huskies. I think Ricky Person's going to get his yards. He's going to break away and get his runs. I think Trent Penix is going to have the opportunity to do the same. But I think Sanderson is much more one-dimensional than Heritage is. I'm picking the Duke recruit, Gunnar Holmberg, to lead Heritage. I think he's going to need to throw for about 200 yards, and he'll need a couple of TDs. And the offensive line for Heritage is going to have to wear down that Sanderson front in order to break away at the end of it. I'm going to pick Heritage to win in this game. Yes, I'm a little biased. I always got my Husky hat on, but I'm picking Heritage to win this one. I think it's going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 18 to 20 to 10, somewhere in that ballpark. We'll call it 18 to 10 because the Huskies do have a better kicking game, in my opinion, in Ben Steele, the field goal kicker. So I'm counting on the Huskies to win. I'm going to make a final pick of 18 to 10. Huskies win it at Sanderson. Those are our picks for this week. Let us know in the comments what you think the results are going to be, and let's compare. At this point, I'm 7-1. Let's see if we can hold that line. Have a great week.